Alrighty guys, we're back for Exalted Calamity, and this is an Edge of Eternities Standard Brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some Ranked. But first things first, this was a suggestion over in the Discord, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. It was to pair Exalted Sunborn with Calamity, Galloping Inferno. Here on the top end, it's a 6 mana 4/6 legendary creature with haste. Saddle for 1. When it attacks while saddled, choose a non-legendary creature that saddled it this turn and create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of it. Sacrifice that token at the beginning of the next end step. Repeat this process once. So if you saddle it up with Sunborn, which reads, if one or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead, you get a whole bunch of Sunborn on the board all of a sudden, like, I don't know, 10 of them flying in the air. It's crazy business. Not the only way to double tokens in here. We actually have a couple Elspeth Stormslayers as just a terrific top end to this build. More terrific top ends, Overlord of the Mistmoors. We can successfully do some rearranging for the impending cost. Also, Enduring Courage with all this token generation should be fantastic. And Caretaker's Talent, making the cut as a 4 for our main card draw, but then also level 2 and level 3 always comes in handy, huh? So how about a little bit of ramp packed in? We have all 4 Charming Scoundrel. What about Ancestor's Aid in here? This is an interesting pick, right? It's a 2 mana instant speed. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. Create a treasure token as well. I think this will do the thing and do it well, especially versus mono green landfall. We'll see though, we'll see. A little bit of removal with Get Lost and all 4 battle menus as well. How about a couple of requisition raids, being able to pick up artifacts or enchantments, or just boost a nice wide board state of tokens. And then also 4 Hinterland Sanctifiers making the cut too. I wanted even more creatures packed in, and I do think that this could be significant life gain to keep us in a couple extra turns, which might be all we need to actually pop off a whole bunch of utility lands in here. We got Windswept Bastion, we got Ishgard, we have Cori Mountain Monastery, we even have Memorial World here too. We have all 4 Parlors, we have all 4 Sacred Foundry, all 4 Sunbillow Verge, and 3 Fountainports for a grand total of 25 mana, which I hope is actually enough. Alright, over in the honorable mentions, Seer Slicer Goblin, could have been pretty neat. Cosmogrand Zenith, Tanuke for sure, Devastating Onslaught, and then even more utility lands that I considered. Encampment here, and Lindblum almost made the cut. Alright guys, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some Ranked, see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. Heck yeah, we do. What am I expecting from the build? I don't know. I don't know. It's got some key mid-range pieces in here, right? We go first. That's good news. Okay, we'll give it a shot. Yeah. Start with the Surveil. I honestly don't mind more mana here. I'm just going to keep it. Even if we see more mana underneath this, it's like, thank goodness we went first of all. Oh, crap. Probably Elspeth. Even though battle menu's closer, it's probably Elspeth, right? Yeah. Yeah, Elspeth is out of here. Right, so we can keep battle menu open or just get the Windswept Bastion down. I think we'll keep the battle menu open here. And we'll just, I guess we'll play the plains. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. It does matter if the opponent has us discarding things too, but... Okay, Demon Wall. Power 4 greater. I guess we generate the token. Get a 2/2 Knight on the board. Ooh, Caretaker's Talent. Very nice, yep. Very, very nice. Potentially the best draw possible. Let's see if we get to keep this token around, because now I'm scared. Maybe we shouldn't have actually played battle menu. Unstoppable Slasher. All right. Ooh, Enduring Courage. Wow. No matter what here, though, we copy this 2/2 and get some card draw, right? I think so. I think so, because we could draw like another battle menu, for example, and draw even more next turn. Get Lost is really good, too. Alright, we can get the Windswept Bastion down now. We can start plugging into this, maybe. I'm going to try to get lost the Slasher on their turn. I'm going to still keep an emergency chump blocker in case there's some kind of surprise, but I'll start plugging a little bit in. Yeah, just in case, just in case. And then get lost the Slasher before combat, or in the swing works too. Honestly, chumping the Slasher, taking care of the Bloodletter could be really good too, but we'll have some flyers. Problem is the Slasher. Hopefully we can find more ways to kill the Slasher. Slasher will need chumped pretty much every turn regardless. Okay, maybe I do change my line a little bit. Take care of the Bloodletter. Nah. I think I'm going to take care of that Slasher for a couple turns and then think about this. Hopefully that's fine. 2 stun counters is pretty significant, I would say. Okay, 5th mana comes down. We could get some card draw with the Caretaker's Talent and Mistmoors. But we could, if we establish Enduring Courage, we could really try to pop off next turn. I think it's Courage. See, that's the thing too, right? Courage is a terrific blocker into the Slasher, but now we're just going to be taking air damage from the Bloodletter. It's really tough to tell, man. It really is. We'll go ahead and station. Yeah, just keeping the Courage. We'll go ahead and station with both of the Knights here. Should be safe. Hopefully, hopefully. Okay, 5th mana from the opponent. They go Duress, but they miss, thank goodness. Yeah, outside of that, they could have powered up the Sanctuary for the turn and actually got a swing on the ground there. 2nd Slasher comes down. The other Slasher is about to lose its stun counter, so I hope I made the right choice. And by popping this Slasher for the turn, kind of feels like I didn't right now. Take 4. Hinterland Sanctifier is pretty decent, man. It's not bad. No matter what, we need to make sure we keep plenty of blockers on the ground. I guess it's time. Oh, you know what? Yeah, no, this is good. This is good. Yeah. We got 8 in the air. We go back up to 18. 4 mana isn't terrible. Could you imagine that Elspeth this game, huh? Is a good choice for their Duress, for sure. Yeah, Enduring Courage blocks well on the ground. They'd probably trade Sanctifier, but if they take the damage, we could keep extra chump blockers and Courage just in case of emergency. If we get 11 through, there could be a chance that we win on the backswing too. Yeah, any of these trades into Sanctifier is probably welcomed, except Demon Wall might actually be a preferable trade for the opponent. The big thing is little life gain off of Sanctifier doesn't matter much when they're comboing off with Bloodletter and Slasher anyways. At any point they can top deck their I think it's a sorcery speed spell, right? That deals half the life, right? I forget what that's called. Okay, keep a ton of emergency blockers in case they find 2 pieces of spot removal, because there's 1 card in hand we don't know about. Map token. Alright. Let's see what we can get done next turn. Getting them down to 12 here is pretty good. Go map token onto Bloodletter. Oh boy, it is a 3/5 now, and Unholy Annex stays on top for sure. Yeah, so we're going to take that trade Slasher into the Enduring Courage. The get lost on this Slasher was kind of like a tempo play at this point, since we didn't find more removal for it, but would have been pretty hard to actually find more removal in this deck list for that Slasher in particular. So it really could just come down to me not popping that Bloodletter, but pretty much every turn we would have been chumping the Slasher, or Enduring Courage would already be an enchantment by now too. It's tough to tell. They do go for the full swing. They have Soulstone Sanctuary open. We're forced to block here. Take 6 from the Bloodletter. 1 card in hand we don't know about. I think the significant thing here is we don't have lethal on the board because they can power up the Sanctuary. Oh! They go back up to 16. It was an Arch Enemy's Charm, guys. Wow. But since they're tapped out and we know that that's just a Soulstone in hand, all we got to do is power up our creatures and we got 16 on the board. There we go. Very nice. Winning on the backswing. Thanks to all of our excessive tokens and thanks to Caretaker's talent being an incredible card. So outside of the power up, we didn't have 4 for the other Courage. If we would have played Courage, it would have gotten haste from this one. We would have had 8 on the board plus another 5, so only 13 damage. So yeah, came down to just powering up the talent. Winning on the backswing was huge. I suppose at that point, the opponent could have swung with Slasher, had the Archenemy's Charm, which was incredible here, guys. It really was. Have it protect it. Our Courage dies, and then Bloodletter could have been a blocker for the turn. And then I guess the opponent would still be in it for sure. But again, that's all in hindsight. It's much easier to look at the board states after everything happens, you know what I mean? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'll take it. That didn't feel bad. And I probably should have popped that Bloodletter. Maybe we would have had an easier time that game. Just chumping the Slasher almost every turn. Also, like, again, that's another thing in hindsight too, because if we popped the Bloodletter and then they played a second one and they still would have been swinging with that Slasher every turn, that could have been really bad for us. All right, let's try it. Swamp? Opponent, please, no. No. Okay, it's not a duress. That's good news, I guess. Losing this talent would be pretty devastating, actually. Okay, battle menu's not bad. I'll go for it. Take the 2. I'm not worried about it. Get the Sanctifier down. Yeah, with battle menu, we'll gladly play Scoundrel, get the treasure. See any of our top end would be good. Go ahead, they bring back... Or they play this out for the 2 mana. I guess technically we have a Plains on the board, so Cori Mountain Monastery can come down. Might as well get that down, right? And then go back up to 15. Treasure token ramps us into Courage next turn. That's a pretty good draw, but I really do want to get the talent down. If I don't plan on blocking, we should just swing. And I guess keeping Scoundrel as a chump blocker isn't bad, but Gonna be Thought Stalker Warlock. Nice. I guess the talent, right? Even though we're about to ramp into Courage, the talent is way too powerful. Yep, oh wow, hey, hi! Talent right in time, buddy. Now we're probably gonna establish the Courage for the turn. Thought Stalker Warlock has Menace. No tokens to copy. If we go talent, we'd have to use the treasure to get to level 2 anyways, then no tokens. So yeah, just ramping. Totally fine. Enduring Courage is a fantastic blocker. As we know from last game too, right? Even though there is a combat trick, it just blocks really well. Oh no, that's an exile. Oh no, Archenemy's Charm. Why? Making an appearance 2 games in a row is rough. We could double block into Thoughtstalker. We probably lose the Sanctifier. If we take 6 down to 8, that's pretty sketchy too. The Scoundrel around. You know what? I'm just going to take it. Yeah. I think we're okay. Okay, Sunbillow Verge is not bad at all. If we have... They know we have battle menus, so it's not going to be like a trick. Like, aha, I have a 2/2. Also, no creatures with power 4 or greater over there yet. It does have life gain tacked on as well. I guess we just establish the Caretaker's talent and hope. I think losing that courage to exile might actually be the nail in the coffin, guys, but we'll see. If it was a destroy, it'd just be chilling here as an enchantment for this turn. It would still be a really slow turn, so this time we do have to save emergency chump blockers for sure. I thought we'd keep them around, see if there's a better chump in their future. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. This is scary, man. Mono black aggro really putting us through it right now. There is a problem. So losing Sanctifier and no more life gain, there's still a potential for some good life gain on this Sanctifier, especially with Caretaker's talent. Man. Okay, instead of taking 6, we'll take 4. We'll chump with Scoundrel. A double block would be good, but I still think there's some work to be done with the Sanctifier's ability. Scoundrel, not bad. Yeah. How do we want to do this? Wicked Roll could be pretty good here too, outside of Treasure. We have enough mana. We'll play the Mountain. We could try to draw another Plains first too. 1 second, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. Really stuck between a rock and a hard place. Being at 4. Nice hasty creatures over there. Menacing creatures. Treasure could still be the best. Because, number 1, we'll get Treasure. Then card draw, because it's a token, right? And it's probably battle menu on their turn as a 2/2. Get some more card draw. However, okay, Enduring Courage is decent. If we do it on our turn for the 2/2, we can copy it this turn too. This could be really good. Could also copy the Treasure. I think copying the 2/2 is much better. And you know what? Guys, we should just use that Treasure now into the other Enduring Courage. I keep bringing up, it's a terrific blocker. We go back up to 6 here. Another Archenemy's Charm, though, might be the nail in the coffin. They do have 3 mana open, so... Oh no. It is Archenemy's Charm. Alright, we are going to be forced into another chump here, or potentially a double block, or 2 chumps. Oh. Was that the last card in their hand? Okay, it was. Thank goodness, right? We go down to 2. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Okay, Ancestor's Aid is actually really good, right? We're going to do this now. Yeah, no, we need... I was going to say the life gain could actually be pretty good here, but we do this now. Get some card draw. Ancestor's Aid is card draw on the opponent's turn as well. Another Enduring Courage. Right, and we also do this now too. And then Ancestor's Aid. Card draw. No, actually, we die no matter what. We're taking 2 damage no matter what here, guys. Oh no. Deep Cavern Bat. Nice. So we don't even really get the Ancestor's Aid as a combat trick. Let's see if we see like a 1 mana thing. No. What's our 1 mana cards in here, guys? The Sanctifier? Do we have any instant speed 1 mana thing? I'm blanking right now, dude. Hey, good game, opponent. Actually, a really neat mono black deck list. I like mono black aggro, so, and this actually looks like a really solid version of it. Archenemy's Charm is crazy business. The second one, if the first one wasn't the nail in the coffin, the second one was the nail in the coffin, right? Not actually being able to keep either of our puppy dogs as blockers was rough business. No pun intended. All right. Let's keep the ball rolling. Yeah. Guys, while I have you here in the middle of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. And then also, guys, the YouTube side of things. If you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So thank you, thank you. All right. Also in that last game, I potentially could have played it out much better too. I'll keep it. 25 mana in here. I think we'll find our third easy peasy. I think finding our third's gonna be pretty necessary. Okay, Boros. Boros colors from the opponent so far. I'm just gonna play the Sacred Foundry tapped. Don't see a whole lot of reasons to actually just have battle menu open, especially if we do find our third next turn. We'd much rather establish the Caretaker's talent first. All right. Yeah, we could have had a really good trade off of the battle menu there, actually. So tapped land isn't the greatest, but that's okay. We do have battle menu open this time. I don't think it'll be able to trade into the Challenger this time. However, it still has other abilities here, like destroy target creature power 4 or greater is actually pretty possible with the Challenger. With one open, though, we'll probably end up seeing a Shard Mage's Rescue. We could still try, or we could just take the 2, and it's totally fine. Alright, we're in danger. Even if we see an untapped source, at that point we'd have to go Courage, right? And then hope that they don't have a Sheltered by Ghost. It is going to be an untapped source, guys. Maybe Overlord of the Mistmoors is a little better. If we take the turn for setup, we could die next turn pretty easily, I would say. It's probably Boros Burn that's running a way to give double strike to the Slickshot Show-Off, right? With the Boros Charm. Like, I'd love to do some fancy things here, but I think the best play is actually the Overlord. We get the Impending counting down. We get a way to actually block the Slickshot Show-Off in the air. Even if it is going to be just a chump, it's something. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'd love to do some fancy things, but I think that's the best play. We'll see, we'll see. 4th mana. I think we could die. Slickshot Show-Off. Like, Sheltered by Ghost on the Challenger. Take 1 blocker. I'll try the blocks. I will. Like, we pretty much know there's a trick, but it's going to be Shock. So it wasn't Sheltered by Ghost. It could be another Shock. Same thing. Okay, and then it could be a Boros Charm for game. It's not. Okay. Okay, like I said, we could have died. Another Slickshot Show-Off. Oh, no, guys. Okay. Right. So we have talent. We have battle menu. Battle menu actually probably can hit one of these Show-Offs. They still got 2 cards. All right. Let's establish Caretaker's talent. There's a possibility where we go 2/2 on the ground to block Challenger. I think it's a higher probability that we use magic, right? On the battle menu. Overlord goes down to 2 counters, which is still very far away when we're up against aggro. We do have Sunborn and Calamity in hand. It would be awesome to be able to pull that off, but I do think we're going to die. Screaming Nemesis. Okay. Okay. Maybe we will get this block into the Challenger. We get some card draw, too. They'll have 5 getting through in the air. I think we're dead, actually. They still got 1 mana open, 2 cards in hand. I do think we die here. Because 1 card boosts both of those. They'll have 9 damage coming through regardless. Well, we'll give it a shot. It's still something. Alright, Ishgard. Holy cow, they actually missed, guys. That's great news, but we're at 2. And more tapped land is not terrific. No tokens to copy on the board. I suppose we go Parlor, see what's on top, and then go from there. But I don't know how we deal with this Nemesis. More tapped land, send it, for sure. if Courage was already established, if I would have established Courage over the Caretaker's talent that one turn, then we could have had a pretty cool lifelink swing, which could have kept us in for like an extra turn maybe. Either way, we are dead, so we might as well establish that and pass it back and let the opponent play this on out. One turn away from the Overlord of the Mistmoors, but it was really, really far away based on the aggro that the opponent's playing. And I'm still a little surprised we didn't die last turn, so at that point we just kind of got an extra turn for free. A third slick shot show off, and Sheltered by Ghost. There it is. Pretty good, opponent. Pretty good. Too bad. Sunborn and Calamity chilling in hand. Good game. All right, we gotta showcase more, right? For sure. We're 25 minutes in. We could easily get like 2 more matches in, and hopefully we can actually pull off this combo too. I think that we have a lot of powerful mid-range strategies packed into this deck list. The question is, are we going to be able to establish that little bit of an engine? So far, it's not looking like it, but I have faith. We can do this, guys. We can do this. I also don't think that the deck list is underperforming necessarily, right? Like it's all right for what it's doing. I think when we find these early creatures, that's kind of one of the best case scenarios for us, right? Like this hand should be pretty decent. I like this. We don't have to take the 2. We'll see what we're up against first. And focus on turn 2 Sanctifier over Scoundrel. Even though that does ramp us into Courage, it's better to see what we're up against, I would say. Oh, nice. Okay. So what we can do... Right. I'd say it's okay to not ramp here and instead establish Sanctifier and get the Foundry down. Versus Plains, there's so many different things it could be. Second Plains, Heir Apparent, right, that's not one of the things on the list that I was thinking it could be. It's really funny. Right, Heir Apparent deck list. Okay. We still take the ramp on the Scoundrel because it gets us 1 step closer to Calamity too, which is fantastic. We have 2 open from for battle menu in case we need it. Maybe they take a swing. That's not the greatest trade though, guys, because Raise the Past is very apparent in Heir Apparent. Enduring Innocence. Okay. We're fine. We're totally fine, guys. Good ramp, mana for days. I'm going to just save the treasure as ramp and save battle menu for a rainy day. Windswept Bastion. So far, the tapped land is holding us up a lot more than I thought it would for this style of deck list. Because that holds up our turn 6, unfortunately. But that should be okay still. Enduring Courage hopefully survives, doesn't get picked up by, like, Sheltered by Ghost. I shouldn't have said it like that, right? It does get picked up by Sheltered by Ghost. We're hoping it doesn't get picked up by Sheltered by Ghost. Just add a couple more words here. Oh no, see more tapped land, and that's actually pretty bad. I might honestly drop some of the tapped land. Because getting Calamity down, going Courage, I mean, that could have been insane. We also have Fountainport Fishy if we want to do that route too. Do all that on their turn. We really don't want to pop this treasure though, because there's still a chance that we don't see untapped off the top. So we'll establish Windswept. If they hit 2 more Heir Apparents next turn, I think we're in a lot of danger. And I think it's very possible that they do, since they're going to draw off the first one too. We're in danger, guys. We really are. Let's see if we can find our Exalted Sunborn this game, too. Because with Calamity already in hand, this could very well be the game where we pop off. Our apparent number 1, I'm pretty sure it's going to be number 2 as well. They get good card draw. 3 cards in hand, 3 mana on the board. Our parent number 2. That's a lot of bunny rabbits, guys. That's a lot of bunny rabbits. I think they could start swinging successfully. They decide not to. They're going to try all in one turn, I suppose. So let's just go fishy for the turn. We could get some card draw on the treasure, but I think this is okay. Go back up to 22 off of the fishy. Caretaker's Talent is fantastic, dude, but what? Look at the opponent's board state. Calamity gets triple blocked. Calamity Courage. We got to do the fun thing, man. There's nothing to calculate here. We just have to do the fun thing, period. Let's do it. Let's do this. Now, Scoundrel could be a great copy too, but it's Courage all day. And then the 1/1s are going to be chump blockers. Get some good life gain. Cool, man. Really cool. So, like I said, wow, they block with 6. They don't actually triple block with the Heir Apparent. They must not have Raised the Past in hand then. That's a lot of bunny rabbits, dude. So that's pretty good for us, right? Cleaning up their board like that. And 3 emergency blocks, I suppose. Yeah, cleaning up all those bunny rabbits should be good. Okay, Heir Apparent. Oh, man. Even finding the Sunborn now could still be pretty decent, right? It's a good blocker and it has lifelink. Okay, Ancestor's Aid isn't bad. We get to establish the Caretaker's Talent and keep both of these open. We have Ancestor's Aid and the battle menu next turn if we go Aid first for Treasure Token first. Or we could do Aid on our turn off of a swing with the Courage if they triple block. Clean up some of their cards. Get card draw off of the Caretaker's Talent, and then still have the battle menu card draw next turn. That's pretty good. I'm going for it. Still have our chump blockers back. So they count to 3. Select the Courage, and then hopefully... And they do have 1 card in hand, 2 planes open. It could be a Get Lost, or something else like that. Maybe they just want to go for... Okay, they're just going to go for the chump. Try to win next turn, right? For sure. Yeah, dude, we'll still go for the card draw this turn. It's a little awkward, but Treasure Token, card draw, 2 mana on the board. Wow, another Ancestor's Aid is not bad, actually. So I was hoping we could take care of 3 bunny rabbits, but the opponent thought it through, and I think I agree. The chump was pretty good, especially when they're this wide. All right, passing it back. What can we get done here? We go Fountainport Fishy. Card draw. 2 mana open. See if they draw into that Heir Apparent. 3rd mana. 2 cards. Enduring Innocence number 2. Oh no. Dude, we really need that Sunborn. We need to start flying in. Or something. Something needs to happen, right? Okay, they're actually deciding just to pass it back here. I think that's our cue. Go Knight, get some more card draw. We see mana. And another Enduring Courage, actually not terrible. Now we could copy the 2/2 Knight first before we play anything else, or we could play Courage, copy Knight, the Knight comes in even chunkier, but with all these chump blocks for days, I think we actually do start with Parlor, see what's on top. Yep, send the Mountain, and then go for that card draw by copying the 2/2. Go back up to 27 here. We do find more mana off the top, unfortunately, guys. Now, we could just go ahead and spend our remaining 4 for the level 3 on the talent, but we could also do that next turn, too. We could also keep Ancestors 8 open for their turn. I think we just play the other Courage, right? That should actually still be pretty good, because we go up to 28. And chump blockers 4 days. There's some tempting things here, but with all the... Yeah. Chump blockers on both sides of these board states. Something like Memorial World won't really help us get through. Extra way to give haste. Plus we have 2 courage on the board anyways. Copy of Artifact or Enchantment. Copying something like Caretaker's Talent could be good. So plugging a little bit into that could be really good. We have 7 Heir Apparents and 12 Bunny Rabbits, though. I think we have to keep everything open. All right, no attacks. Yep, on a crazy full swing. Honestly, all they got to do is find their Caretaker's Talent, right? It'll take an extra mana and all 8 mana to get it to level 3, so it won't be happening this turn if they have it in there, which I feel like they probably do. They call white on Sunken Citadel. So Hinterland Sanctifier is really good, right? We can successfully establish the Sanctifier. Looking for that Sunborn. We could try to find it on Fountainport Fishy, but then... Fountainport Fishy, game 2. Keep Ancestors' Aid open. We have 3 mana. We'd still be able to warp the Sunborn if it came time. And we'd still have Ancestors' Aid open for their turn too. So this is one of those mid-range games that's just like, it's just going to completely melt my brain by the time we get to the end of it. All right, Ancestors' Aid is open to draw on the opponent's turn. And that's it, unfortunately, right? Yeah. Yeah, because any swing... Okay, they do finally find another Heir Apparent. I can only imagine that missing the Heir Apparent for that many turns is actually a little unlucky for them, right? So 2 card draw off the Innocence. Here comes another one. That's a chunk of bunny rabbits, guys. We need our Sunborn, but even when we find our Sunborn, I don't think it's going to be enough now. It's been too long. All right, we're going to try the card draw. It lands. Caretaker's Talent, not bad, but we're not very wide with these. There's the Sunborn. All right, guys, now we're talking. Like I said, it might be too late, but let's think about this. Okay, so if we warp the Sunborn, it won't be able to block, but I'd love to swing with this anyways. And look at their board state, guys. We want to swing for sure. It's going to get a double boosted from the Courage, get haste. Then we can try the other Caretaker's Talent. Copy some of the tokens on the ground. All right, let's do it. Let's warp out the Sunborn. 3 cards in hand, 5 mana open. This could easily be spot removal, which would break my heart. If we would have found Sunborn a few turns earlier, I think that there's a real chance we could have been okay. Of 3 mana, we could take the 2 for the Foundry, go Fountainport Fishy for the turn 2. Helps us go even more wide. And we can always copy the treasure, get double treasures off the Sunborn. But I think we just go ahead, copy the Knight. Man, this is so cool, guys. It's really, really neat, but we just can't get around like 30 bunny rabbits, you know what I mean? Wow, Overlord of the Mistmoors and a Sanctifier is not half bad. But what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead, we're going to pay the 2, and we're going to go Fountainport Fishy before we lose the Sunborn. So let's get this swing in the air. We might actually have enough life gain. If this Sunborn gets through, we might actually have enough life gain. Now we could get double fishies this turn, or we could get card draw for next turn. Take one down to 41. I think it's double fishies this turn. I think at this point with Overlord and Sunborn next turn too, the card draw is less significant than just survival. And so double fishies helps us chump even more. We go up to 45. Hopefully that's enough. The opponent's at 10. Yeah, there's a real chance that we can win with our flyers now. We'll see. They go Fountainport, draw 2 on the Innocents. They could maybe finally find their Caretaker's talent, and they do have... They sacrificed a fishy instead. Alright. Block, block. Block, 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 block. 28 over there. I guess we don't know what's in their hand, right? So I'm taking all the chumps that are necessary. 30 damage down to 15. I doubt it's a surprise, right? If it is a surprise, there's not a lot we can do past that anyways, but I guess I will chump here. If it's something that boosts their wide board state at instant speed, we're pretty much dead regardless of the blocks. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Keep the Sanctifiers back. It wasn't something to boost the board state, guys. It's good news. Both Innocents comes back. Raise the past. Nice. But do you have blockers in the air is the real question. Oh, crap. Oh, guys. I think the opponent just won. The Sanctifier Heir Apparent. What a game, guys. What a game. Yeah, another Heir Apparent is a nail in the coffin. It is going to be another Heir Apparent. I don't think there's much we can do to get around, to get 35 damage through, unfortunately. Brutal stuff, huh? This was a good one. This was a really good game, opponent. Yeah, this was fun. We still have a fantastic turn, so we're going to take it. So Sunborn comes down. Yeah, it's still an absolutely epic turn. Also, the other Sanctifier could have been good here. So once again, the tapped land holding us up a little bit in these matches. So we get 4 of these. Get some card draw. We didn't want to start with the card draw because we wanted the double insects on the board, right? And then unfortunately, we don't have lethal damage. Close. Really close. Yeah, I think if we would have seen this Sunborn a little sooner. Also, a small chance of like the opponent missing the Sanctifier could have been good. The life gain on the Innocents is actually what's holding them in. The swing on the Enduring Innocence was an extra 4. Hey, good game, opponent. It really was a good game. I think this could have gone either way. They swing with 78 bunny rabbits, and we can't be mad about that. We just can't be. Pretty fun. I do wonder if they actually had Caretaker's talent in there too. I think that would have been a great way for the opponent to get through earlier. So 2 things could have happened better for both of us. If they saw Caretaker's talent a little bit sooner, they could have won. If we saw our Sunborn a little bit sooner, I do think we could have won as well. So really back and forth, great match. I think we showcased the deck list a little bit there. We didn't get to pull off the Calamity combo with it, but we can imagine. Let's go talk about this deck list real quick here. Exalted Calamity. Excuse me, guys. Enduring Courage. Got to be one of my favorite red cards in Standard. It's got to be one of my favorite cards in Standard in general. It's just so much fun. Like, you don't have to build around it, but when you're building a deck list like this, it kind of ends up being a little bit of the build around anyways. Giving haste to key things or multiple creatures or multiple tokens that are generating is just so powerful. And if any card helps you win one turn sooner, then it's a decent card, you know what I mean? And Courage is very much that card where it helps you win one turn sooner instead of having to wait an opponent's entire turn to swing with your incredible board state. Just give your whole board state haste instead. Charming Scoundrel and Sanctifier. I think I said this in one of the middle games, maybe. When we see our early creatures, we're actually in a much better position than when we're setting up for the late game. Seeing our early creatures is pretty essential. I feel like I could have played Battle Menu a little better today as well. There was a lot of moments where I was like, there's probably something better for it, and I held it for later. Honestly, you probably just want to go for it right when you have the mana open, and that might be a little bit better. There's some moments, though, where, again, yeah, it's a little awkward, where you would love to establish Caretaker's talent first. It's just not how it always works out, though, and I think Battle Menu would usually have more targets, especially against like mono green. The important thing against mono green landfall is they have a lot of protection, with all 4 Snakeskin Veils feeling like, I don't know, 20 Snakeskin Veils sometimes. Like, it's usually there. So that's what the Ancestors' Aid is actually doing in here. So outside of the treasure generation, which was actually pretty good, as you guys saw in those matches today, pairing so well with like Caretaker's talent, being able to do Battle Menu and the Ancestor's Aid on the opponent's turn to draw, it's fantastic, because you're also getting the ramp then too off of the aid, or a 2/2, which can of course block really well. So give me 1 second, guys. I do have to pause the recording here. Okay, anyways, yeah, Get Lost is kind of in the same boat as another way you could potentially generate treasure, or not treasure, map tokens on the opponent's turn by popping one of your extra creatures or something. You probably don't want to do that, but there are rare moments where targeting one of your own things with the Get Lost is acceptable. I do think more Get Lost could have been pretty good today. At that point, I would drop a Requisition Raid and go up a second Get Lost, but I was seeing so much Synthesizer that it did not feel right to not have multiple cards in here to be able to hit artifacts. So personally, I'm going to keep the double Requisition Raid. I'm going to stand by it. I think it's going to be fantastic in here. I don't know where Synthesizer was today, maybe just in higher ranks at this point, but yeah, so I really like the front end of this build. What about the top end? Exalted Sunborn and Calamity should, in theory, be a fantastic combo that just wins the game outright on that turn, right? But it's really hard to set up, and there could be some directions that we could lean the deck to actually help it set up, but then I think you take away from the mid-range side of things, start slipping further into the combo side of things. I do think this is going to be a really hard combo to actually pull off regardless, and I think the best thing for the deck list is just keeping it mid-range, or going even further mid-range and stripping out part of the combo too. For example, Calamity down to 1, go up more spot removal. Exalted Sunborn down to 2, keep the 2 Elspeth Stormslayer as well. And then go up a couple board wipes, for example. This deck list could benefit from a Day of Judgment or 2, right? So it's going to hit some of your own creatures sometimes for sure, but I mean, the opponent is also hitting our own creatures, and a Day of Judgment, if it's just like hitting a Courage, at least the Courage sticks around as an enchantment too. So yeah, if you're going to choose board wipes, you probably want to choose one that says destroy. That way it doesn't exile the Courage or something, right? And yeah, it's going to feel bad popping the Scoundrel and the Sanctifier from earlier, or popping a bunch of your tokens, but it's kind of like I said, like the opponents are taking care of your cards too. And there's a lot of moments where you actually just have to use early chumps, and so you might end up with no creatures anyways. So Yeah, I think if you take away part of the combo, lean it more mid-range, we could probably do a little better, but then you're taking away part of the heart of the deck list too. Guys, put it on the do not craft list for sure. It's relatively expensive here. Let's do some rearranging and take a look-see. We do have some commons in here. That's good news, I suppose. Here comes the chunk of rares and the chunk of mythics as well. And then don't even get me started on the mana base. We probably do want to think about rearranging some of this utility land where I thought that the extra tapped lands really weren't going to hold this deck up too much. It ended up holding it up a lot more than I thought. Now, I'm personally not going to make any of the changes because if I change the deck list, I do think we'd want to do a complete overhaul and a complete revamp as well. So I'm actually not going to drop like Memorial World and stuff. And it technically could be a fantastic way to give wide board state haste, but usually courage is available. We got 4 of them in here and fantastic card draw off of the talent. And speaking of the combo, right? If we're really leaning into the combo with Calamity and Sunborn, why not 3 Calamities? Or 4? Well, not 4 because it's legendary and it's a top end, but why not 3? Yeah, because we're drawing pretty well. And we're going into that mid to late game, hopefully easily too. So like when you get that far into the game, you're seeing a lot more off the top. 2 on the top end should be completely acceptable at that point. The Surveil on the Parlor is fantastic, and of course, Parlor, Foundry, and our basics power up the Verge, and the Verge taps for white initially, and we are, in fact, leaning towards the white source, so that explains why it looks like we have an even split, but actually we're leaning a little white in the mana base thanks to the Verge, but usually it's just going to be an excellent Boros dual land. And then outside of that, too, if we do end up with too much red mana, we got Scoundrel for treasure mana fixing right, and then Ancestor's Aid giving us treasures too. So if we only see red, there's still a chance that we get the treasure for our 1 white source, and then hopefully top deck into the white sources as well. So the mana makes a lot of sense to me for what we actually have put together here. Guys, seriously, keep your eye on cards that give first strike if you're seeing way too much landfall. I've been having a lot of success with first strike, so yeah, I mean, I love Ancestor's Aid. We're probably going to be playing more of it for sure in the upcoming videos and everything. So, guys, if you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, for real. Holy cow. All right, I think that's everything. Let me know what you thought of the deck list down in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.